What's up, YouTube? Gavin from Yu-Gi-Oh! Team Enforcers bringing you an updated version of my Chaos Dragon deck. First off, we have Light Pulsar Dragon, Dark Flare Dragon, and Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Coming up next, we have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Eclipse Wyvern, and Dark Armed Dragon. Red Eyes Dark Metal special ability goes good with Eclipse Wyvern. Because Eclipse Wyvern's special ability is when it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish one level 7 or higher light or dark type dragon monster. When this is banished, you can put this to your hand, and if you banish a dragon type monster, you can special summon this to the field. And once per turn, you can special summon a dragon from the field or from your hand to the hand or graveyard to the field. Next, we have Dark Armed Dragon. Can only be special summoned by if you have exactly 3 or more dark monsters in your graveyard. You can banish one dark monster from your graveyard and then target one card on the field and destroy it. Next, we have Gores, Tragodia, Light Ray Diablos. Light Ray Diablos special ability, or first, it can only be summoned by having exactly 5 or more, or having 5 or more light monsters with different names in your graveyard. You can banish one to choose one send card on the field, and either return it to the top or bottom of your deck, or your opponent's deck. Next, we have Judgment Dragon. Needs to be summoned with 4 or more light Swarm monsters with different names. And I have Jane, Light Swarm Paladin, Lila, the Light Swarm Sorceress, Eucharist, the Light Swarm Druid, prevents anybody from targeting Light Swarm monsters that are on the field, Genus, the Light Swarm Mender. If this card was sent to the graveyard, or during the end phase, if this card was sent to from your deck to your graveyard with the effect of a Light Swarm monster, I would gain 500 life and your opponent would lose 500 life. And 2 Ryoku Light Swarm Hunters. When they're flipped summoned, or when they're flipped, you can use both effects. Destroy 1 card on the field and mill 3 cards to the graveyard. Then we have our level 1 monsters, Battle Fader. When you attack directly, you can special summon Battle Fader and end the battle phase. Stardust Shallog, Sonic Chick, which basically has the same effect as Obnoxious Celtic Guard, which can't be destroyed by a monster with 1900 or more attack points. Flameveil Guard, Majestic Dragon, Dark Resonator, Top Runner, Witch Doctor Sparta. Witch Doctor Sparta is pretty good because as 2 grand in defense, plus when your opponent special summons a monster, they get nailed for 500 points of damage. Vice Dragon, Honest, Queen's Knight, Tyre, the Nordic Champions, has 2 grand defense and attack, level 4. Light monster, but if there is no other Nordic monsters when you summon it, it's automatically destroyed. Goldfax of the Nordic Beast, Gamnir of the Nordic Beast, 2 Takshneer of the Nordic Beast. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 2 tokens. 2 level 3 tokens with 0 attack and 0 defense. If Garmir of the Nordic Beast, if this card battles a level 4 or lower monster after the damage calculation, you can return that monster to their hand. Valkyrie of the Nordic Ascendant, and Vandis of the Nordic Ascendant. That wraps up the monster cards. You can use those 2 monsters. This one is summoned Odin, and this one is summoned Thor, because Odin requires a synchro or a tunary monster, which is Nordic Ascendant. So you can use that monster, or because it's a tuner, or you could use Vandus. Either way. Next, moving to the spells, we have Charge of Light Brigade, Solar Recharge, Realm of Light, Swords of Revealing Light, Star Changer, Fighting Spirit. Fighting Spirit's a pretty good card. When you equip it to your monster, your monster gains 300 attack. For every monster in your opponent's side of the field, say your opponent has 5 monsters, it would gain 25. It would gain 1,500 life points. And when the monster equipped to this would be destroyed by battle, you can send this to the graveyard to negate the destruction of that monster. 1 for 1. The Dark Door. This is a good and a bad card because it prevents everybody can only attack once. But if you have the more monsters and you try to attack, that's a bad thing because you can only attack with one. But it's good against your opponent because they can only attack with one monster. A second Swords of Revealing Light. MST. Gotnam Rung of the Nordic. It's a Nordic spell card. What it does is target one easier monster you control, give it to your opponent. During their next end phase, destroy that monster, and if you do, banish all cards your opponent controls. It's a pretty good card. March of the Ragnarok. Basically, all it does is if you have an easier monster you control, it's unaffected by spells and traps until the end phase. The field spell, the Nordic Lights. All it does is Nordic monsters in the field cannot be destroyed by battle. When this card is on the field, when this card on the field is destroyed, destroy all face-up Nordic monsters. Nordic Relic Drafnir. Equipped to an easier Nordic monster, gains 800 attack. If this card is on the field and was destroyed by a card effect, you can add one Nordic Relic card from your deck to your hand. That wraps it up for the spells. Moving on to the traps. We have Glafnir, the Feathers Fenrir, Nordic Relic Brinkshman, Divine Relic Mihalnir, Nordic Relic Levantin, a second Nordic Relic Brinkshman, Sakurutsu Armor, Mask of Restrict is a pretty good card. Cards cannot be tributed, so this deck is basically based around special summoning, so that'll work. Light Spiral, that's a pretty good card. Every time a Light Storm effect is activated, that would, let's say, for example, you played Ryoku the Light Storm Hunter, and you flip summoned it, and I'll destroy on my opponent's side of the field Dark Flare Dragon, for example. And send the top 3 cards from my deck to the graveyard. If in a Light Swarm effect that ditches cards works, you can banish the top card in your opponent's top card in your opponent's deck. That's pretty good. And then you have Magic Cylinder, Shadow Spell, Starlight Road, Compulsion Activation Device, and Draining Shield. That wraps up the traps. Moving on to the extra deck, we have exactly 15. Thor, Lord of the Aesir, Loki, Lord of the Aesir, and Odin, the Father of the Aesir. Okay. Thor is a Beast Warrior Synchro monster, 3,500 attack. Requires a Nordic Beast Tuner and 2 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls currently until the end phase. During the end phase, if this card you control was destroyed by an opponent's card by effect or by battle, you can send one Nordic Beast Tuner. You can banish that to resurrect this at the end phase and nail your opponent with 800 life. Loki, Spellcaster Synchro, 3,300 attack, 3,000 defense. Requires one Nordic Alfar tuner plus 2 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap during your battle phase, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. It's a quick play effect. During the During the end phase, if this card was controlled by... If you control this monster and it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish one Nordic Alpha or Tutor monster, special summon this card from the graveyard on the end phase, and if you do, you can take one trap card that you've already used and bring it back to your hand. Odin, it's a fairy synchro monster, light attribute, 4,000 attack, 3,500 defense. Once per turn, you can make this unaffected by spells and traps until the end phase of this turn. During the end phase, if this card was destroyed by opponent's card effect or by a battle, you can banish one Nordic Ascendant Tuner from your graveyard to special summon this card, and when this card is summoned this way, I can draw a card. That finishes the 3 Nordic gods. Coming up, we have Formula Synchron, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, Black Rose Dragon, Black Winged Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Majestic Star Dragon, Shooting Star Dragon, Shooting Quasar Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend, Majestic Red Dragon, and Red Nova Dragon. That wraps up the picture deck. Like always, get your game on, like and subscribe to the channel. And for all your Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card needs, visit www.bbtoystore.com/Yu-Gi-Oh! in all caps in the link below.